What's up, YouTubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight for another lake breakdown. But we're going to stick on the lake we've been breaking down for a couple of weeks now. That's Lake Belton. That's right. I should be, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. We're on our last video for Lake Belton. This time we're going offshore, our second offshore video for Lake Belton. Stick around. I got some good stuff for you. All right, let's get started on Lake Belton. Now, if we missed the last video, we started down here at the dam and we worked our way all the way up the lake here on the east side until we got all the way to the top, and then we came back down the west side and we ended right here where this little hump is. You can see where this little hump is here with this roadbed, that being a key area to try to go locate some fish. So let's go ahead and finish up this lake and talk about some of the other points that we saw. The next one would be right in here. There's a little point, comes right off here, has a pretty good little break, and has a nice creek bed that comes out here as well. So this point is definitely going to be a point you want to go check out. You want to scan around, put a marker there for you as well. But so you've got a brush pile, you've got a road bed, you've got a point, and you've got a creek bed. So you've got a lot of good things going on right there around that area. So let's keep moving on down. As we move down there, I didn't see too much until we got off to the next point that's right here. And if you go right there, there's a submerged bridge that's out there. Just want you to go check that out. It looks like it's in about 20 to 25 foot of water. So definitely a fishable area. So I would say go there and just see if you can find anything there, especially with spotted bass being on this lake. That could be a really good area where you could get a ton of numbers if you find them located there. And then now we're going to go up here, up through this area right here. And if you look right off the right hand side, you're going to notice that there is a nice little point that's right here. Top of the point's about 8 foot, has good break, also has that road bed out in front of it as well. But what I really liked about this one was it was a nice little secondary point. And then two, it's got a point on the other side. But two was really the fact that you got the road bed here. So you got a nice little point here. It's a secondary point. You got flooded timber, you got a road bed, you got a creek bed. You got kind of the same thing over here. You've got the nice flat tops, so you could probably get some shell beds in this area as well. So just really good areas to try to locate the fish would be both of those little waypoints that we put right in there. I didn't see too much back here in the back of the creek. Of course, as I said on the first video, I can't mark every single offshore spot that's on Lake Belton. That would not be possible. But what I am doing is just marking spots that are going to be high percentage areas where I think you're going to be able to locate some fish. Maybe not all times of the year, but definitely during certain parts of the year. These should be key areas where they should stage up at or set up at for the most part. So with that being said, let's just keep on going. Let's see what else we can find. So when we get over in here, of course, we went up that creek first. Now we're going to go up this creek here. I can't remember the name of this creek off the top of my head. I think it said it earlier. Of course, now I can't find it. But anyways, we're going to go up here in this creek. And the main thing that I really liked about this area was right here. If you look, you got the creek channel swing going right here. This is Owl Creek, apparently. So you got the creek channel swing going right here. I didn't mark that area. We probably marked it on the Google Earth when we did the Google Earth recording, because that would be a really prime spot to try to find some fish. The next spot's going to be right here off of this point. So notice the river channel or the creek channel, the Owl Creek, where the creek channel swings up against the edge of this point. It creates a really good ledge there. So you know you're going to get a really good ledge. And the other thing that I like is you've also got that road bed on top as well. So you got some rocks that can feed up there and stuff like that. And they can push off the ledge and get more towards the creek channel too. So just a lot of good things going on right in that area. Also, it shows there's flooded timber in here too. So you're getting a lot of the good ingredients to really be able to find some fish. Now, if we go down here a little bit further outside, on the outside of Owl Creek, we've got a little hump, or I guess you could say a point or an island that comes out here. So you've got the little island that comes out here with the little hump on it. It's got the creek channel, so definitely want to scan around it, around the outside, the front, the sides, obviously in the top. Just scan it all. Also fish around in here, around the saddle. So look in the saddle. Sometimes they'll actually settle into that saddle area. They won't be on the hump, they won't be on the point, they'll just be right there in that saddle area. So go check that out. And then while you're there, make sure to look on this side of the point. Now this side just kind of tapers off, it's not as sharp of a drop. But if you look right here on the side of this point, it has a really sharp drop. So there could be some stuff right in this area. Not sure about that one, not as positive about that one or confident about that one as I would be out here on the island, but definitely go check those out. If you're in that area scanning, you got to go check it out for sure. Now, as we move a little bit further down, really pointed out a ton of spots on the Google Earth videos. So make sure to go check out those Google Earth videos if you want more waypoints. We've definitely got a ton of them out here for Lake Belton. And then while I'm talking about it, also make sure to go check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got all these waypoints, the offshore waypoints, plus all the Google Earth waypoints. We take them, we make the waypoints for you to where you can put them on your card, or I can email them to you and you can put them on your card yourself. And once you do that, you basically plug the card into your graph, you import them in, and then voila, you have all of these points out there with you while you're fishing. It'll definitely change the way you fish. I love it, and definitely, very happy that I can share it with you guys. So go check it out, simplisticfishing.com, and make sure to pick up the lake that works for you. I've got about 50 or 60 lakes out there now and continue to adding more and more each month. So go check them out. All right, so let's keep moving down. Gave you my spill on simplistic fishing. We're going to move down here to this next little area right here. Again, we got another point, right? A little point that comes out. This is kind of more, I guess you could call it main lake point. And then you've got a creek bed that comes right across the front of it. So right in here is going to be a really good area to try to find some fish right there where that marker is. I'm going to back down. What we're going to do is we're going to come down. We're going to swing down here. Of course, you've probably got some bluff walls in here. Those are going to be fun to fish. You've got more rocky, big rocks in that area as well. Of course, we pointed all that stuff out on the Google Earth stuff, but now we're talking offshore. So the next spot that I really liked from an offshore standpoint was right here. We've actually got two markers here, and we're going to zoom in and take a look at it. So one thing right here, let's just look at this point. This point comes out, it's pretty flat on top, but it has a super good break right there. You've also got a really good break on the outside of this one as well. So I would say both of those areas, come over and maybe scan this whole area, just make a big square around it, see what you can find. But I'm thinking you're going to be able to find some fish located off the edges of those points. Definitely at some point, during the season, maybe all seasons, because really when you look at it, it's main lake. It's a little point off main lake, but it's right there by a major river channel swing. So a river channel bend. So definitely a good place to go and try to locate some fish for sure. All right, so I'm going to keep moving up here. We're going to go around the big bend, and we're talking about the big bend. Of course, I always tell you guys, these bluff walls, anytime you can get where you've got that river channel where it swings up and it touches something, that's always a really good area to go to try to find some fish. That's just like, it's almost not 90%, but I mean, it's up there. It's probably 70-80% of the time you can find fish. If you can find where the river channel or the creek channel touches it, there's going to be fish there. And it's almost all kinds of species of fish too. So those are always hot areas. Like that bank line would be a definite hot area. But if you didn't want to fish that bank line, maybe you want to go a little bit shallower, come over here, and we go over here on the inside turn. We've got this road bed that comes right through here. And then right here, you've got trees that are right here on the outside. So I would say definitely go look in there, see if you can find anything around those trees on the inside of that bend. You might be able to find some brush piles as well, things like that aren't out there in 60 foot of water like that bluff wall was, or however deep it is. Also, as you come up here, you've got a nice little hump that comes out, or I guess you could just call it a little point that comes out. It's about 6 feet on top. It definitely looks really cool, and there's some kind of a sandbar up there or something, so that could also create some shell beds. So a good area to try to go look and see if you can find some shell beds in that area. If you find shell beds in that area, you're more than likely going to find some bass in that area. All right, so as we move a little bit further down here, let's keep going down the river channel. And this one's hard for you guys to follow, I know, because I got to keep zooming back. But we're going down here right where this little break off is. Of course, we're staying on the west side on this video. So we're going to go up, and the next thing that I really liked was right in here. You notice there's a road bed that comes right here, and there's a little junction that comes right there. I like that. Also, the fact there's some kind of a brush pile or something that's right there in that area too. So go look right where that point is. I think you might find something there. I wish I could get it to tell us what's on that little plus sign, but whatever is there is something that definitely sparked my interest. All right, so let's keep moving up. Of course, all kinds of good points. You could probably fish every point on this lake and have success. I mean, it's just got so many good points to fish. So again, I'm not going to be able to tell you all the offshore spots, but I think the ones that I'm pointing out to you, I feel pretty confident that you should be able to find some fish on those. So let's keep going. As we go over here, of course, I talked to you about, all those points look good. I'm not going to mark every single point for you. I want to mark more things that are more obvious from a contour standpoint, or a little, maybe not as obvious because you're looking at the contours. But anyways, back in here, if you look at this little point that's back here, right in here, this looks really, really good. There's a little creek channel that comes through here. I don't know what this Belton TBC championship thing is. If I hit it, I'm not sure what happens here. Submerged car. Interesting. So there's a submerged car right there around that point right where I was telling you about. So definitely go look at this. Just take a look at this and see what you can find. See if you can locate anything in there. And if you do find something in there, then you may want to come over here as well, because you got that same type setup. It's not as good of a point, but it's still got a pretty nice little ditch that goes in there as well. So you may want to go check out both of those. If that one's fire or if that one's fire, definitely go look at the other one. All right, so let's move down. Let's go around here. Of course, the river channel bend is right there. That is a primo spot again. But then looking over here, if we get off the main river channel, we're just kind of going down the bank line and looking and seeing if there's anything special. I like this little point right here. It's not as obvious. You definitely don't see it from the bank line. So if you're just zooming down with your boat, you have no idea there's a little point right there. But that little point comes up to 9 foot. It's the highest spot in the whole entire area. There's also an old road bed that could be out here a little bit further, but I'd be fishing more up towards the shallow side. But I think right in that area could be a really, really good spot. Again, you may be able to find some debris on the top of that hump, some shells, something like that, rock, all kinds of good stuff. So just make sure to go check that one out. I really like that one. That to me is also a little point that's maybe not as obvious to everyone else, so it may not get as much pressure as some of the other main lake points might get. All right, so let's keep moving down. Let's see what else we can find here. As we get down here, we're going around this turn. If we go inside, we see the same type of thing. Of course, a lot of good fishing spots right in here. At least people are saying these are their favorite spots. But I really like this spot down here. There's, again, another underwater point that's right here. Comes out about 12 to 18 feet. It's got a nice little flat top on it, and then it's got some debris and stuff on the outside edge of it. All of those things look really good. And again, if everybody's fishing up here, because this is where all the markers is, and everybody's saying, hey, fish here, that place is going to get wore out. And the fish might just migrate right to here, and people aren't going to go over here and fish this spot. So definitely go check that out. All right, so let's keep moving down. We're going to go around this major bend right here. And we're going to get right out here, right where this little saddle area is, right around this island. Now, of course, fishing around the islands are always good. I don't see anything I can really point out to you that says, hey, fish right here in the island, but definitely just fishing all around it can be good. But I really like fishing the saddle, as you guys have heard me talk about it a lot. And this saddle I really like because, one, it has a road bed on it. So having the road bed, having an intersection, so you actually have 2 different road beds that are coming in here. Pretty good depth, about 10 foot. That's a great depth for us to be able to fish pretty much anything we want. So anyways, really like that saddle right there by the island. Okay, so let's keep going and let's keep moving on down the lake here. The next thing that I'm seeing, I'm getting out here really more towards the bottom of the lake now. So as I'm right in here, if you look right across here, there's a little hump that's out here. Of course, someone put a little fish marker on it, but I really like how that hump comes up. It says there's trees down at the bottom as well. So it could be a really good spot, especially like wintertime, late or summertime, earlier summertime when they really move out super deep. That could be a really good spot as well. And of course, there's smallmouth out here too, so that could be a great spot to find some smallmouth. It's a little bit deeper spot as well. So there's all kinds of good stuff that could happen off that hump. So make sure to go out there and scan around that area. I think that's going to be good for you. All right, so we're going to move on up. We're going to go up here to the back here. And let's talk about this right here. Again, it's another one of those points, right? Underwater point with a road bed coming right off the top of it. So definitely a good spot to go look. A spot I could see them being attracted to. Next thing would be this little point here, little main lake point, close to a little river channel that's over here. Got a roadbed that's out a little bit further in deeper water, but if you move up, you've got, actually it's like an underwater island. You've got a saddle here as well, and then you've got another point that's right here. So this whole area right in here, especially the saddle and this top of this point and the top of the hump, those are all going to be good spots. And then off the sides of the humps too, like right in here could be good as well. And then as we move over here, you'll notice the river channel bend right there. That's key area. All this area right in here is going to be good for fishing. It's definitely going to have a lot of good stuff. But as you get off that swing, this is the closest flat to it. So right in here, primo spot to be fishing for sure. So if you don't find anything right in here, just pull off and fish this point. Right around that point is going to be a good spot. If you don't find them on the point, just move on down and just look right around where that big swing is. I guarantee something's right in here for sure. All right, so we're going to move over here. Next thing is going to be right here. It looks like it's some kind of a underwater tree or some kind of special brush pile or something. So I went ahead and marked it for you guys as right off the edge of that point. All right, so then as we move further up, we got a few more points that are up here before we start turning around, going back towards the dam. The next spot's right here. Again, one of these points that maybe is not as obvious to everyone else because it just doesn't stand out, but it looks like a really good point. It's got some kind of excuse me, rock on top of it. And then it breaks really good. It breaks down to like 11 or 24 feet. So real good break in that area. All right, had to get a swig of water there. So now we're going to move on up and we're going to get into this area. We got a good bend, right? Good river bend right there. But if you look right over here, another really good point. This one's 5 foot on top. So this one's a pretty shallow one, but really good breaks off the side of it. Just like how the whole thing sets up for sure. Getting all choked up today talking to you guys about Lake Belton. All right, next thing would be this hump that's right here. So you can notice you've got 5 feet on the top of the hump, so really shallow hump. You've also got, I guess it goes out to about 7 or 8 feet, so not all of it's 5 foot, but you've also got a fish attractor right off the side of this hump as well. So just really good looking hump. Got a little river bend going right there. You've got the hump right there. All of it just looks really good. Love that area. All right, I didn't see too much else up here. This gets into pretty shallow, and there's just not really a lot of points or anything that I noticed. Now, I'm not saying there's not something up there, but again, I can't mark all the points for you, so let's keep moving on, and let's go down here. If you look here, you'll see the river bend or the river channel really turning hard right there. And it turns hard and swings right up against this point or just right outside the edge of this point. So this point is going to be a very good point to try to locate fish for sure. It's got a nice flat top on it as well. Then as we move over, we already talked about those up there. Let's keep going down this southern bank line. Where these buoys are, and I don't know if you can fish here or not. I guess you probably can't fish in here. This is probably like a swim area or something. But just outside of that, see this right here? This is an old pond pretty much. So you got the really deep spot right there in the middle of the pond. But this dam, the pond dams can be really good sometimes. So go fish out in the pond dam. Fish the inside and the outside. So don't forget about fishing this inside part and then go fish the outside as well. But line your boat up parallel to it. Don't cast over it and drag over the top of it. Line up parallel. Cast this way alongside the inside edge and the outside edge and see what you can find. Also make sure to cast parallel over the top of it as well and see if you can find anything up there feeding. So definitely go look at those two spots or that spot in there. I think it's going to be a really good spot for you as well. Really, that's going to be more of a seasonal thing, but definitely a spot to go look at. All right, then moving back in here, the next area, I'll zoom back and show you guys where I'm at. Coming right in here to this pocket. So in this little pocket, if we move in a little bit, you'll notice there's a nice little flat point that comes out here that where the creek channel comes right up against it and really slams up against it. And I think this is going to be a really good spot, to go and fish around as well. A real good underwater point, real close to that creek channel, all of it, a lot of good stuff going on there. Same type thing down here. You've got a little point down here as well. So as you come out of that little pocket we were talking about, just come down here and you've got another little nice point that's over here. Top of it's about 15 to 18 foot, comes out pretty good, has a nice little saddle area right in here as well. Just all kinds of good stuff around that spot. So go look at that spot for sure. And then we're going to move on down, zoom back out, show you guys where I'm at. We're getting closer towards the dam. You can see here, I'm right here now. And then as I go here, another main lake point comes way out. Of course, 24 foot deep, so you're getting kind of deep for me. I don't like going too much farther than 25 feet, but right in here just looked really good. I just liked how that whole thing set up. Even if I didn't want to fish all the way out here off the edge of the point, I would definitely want to scoot in and fish right around where that roadbed is right in there, as well as right where that break kind of ends and it starts to level out a little bit. Right in there would be a really good area too. So just scan that area around there, see if you can find any fish located in that area. It's a main lake point, so it's going to be a pretty good spot for you guys to try to find something. And then, of course, I'm back here in the swim area again, or getting as close to the swim area as I can. But if you look right out here in the swim area, you'll notice there's a little underwater point that comes right out here, and it actually hits right on the corner of this little roadbed. And it's just, for whatever reason, it just looks like a really good spot to try to find some fish. And you've got this little ditch that comes here from the creek channel too. So, and I mean, who doesn't want to go out there and just start, catching donkeys right there in front of the swim area? I mean, everybody wants to be able to brag, and that's the best place that you could fish if you're going to catch fish, right there in front of the swim area. So go check that out. And then also, as you're coming down through there, off this next area, right outside that swim area, south of it, you're going to have another really good point that's out here too. So go look at that point. It's got road beds, it's got the flat stuff, it's got all the stuff that you'd want to fish, as far as a point goes. All right, so moving on down, we got one, two, three more points to show you. So let's go here. And of course, it says rocks, and just like the Google Earth video, I showed you guys tons of rocks. So you definitely want to go check out the Google Earth videos after this, and so that way you can kind of put the whole entire lake together. But as we get right in here, look at this nice little ditch that comes right through here. Really like this. Real good ledges right in here. Real good drops. Kind of off the beaten path. People probably aren't going to come over here and fish this too much. I think it's going to be a good spot for you guys to try to locate them for sure. And then over here, we got another little underwater point that comes out. It's also close to a little underwater roadbed. So all kinds of good stuff going on in that spot as well. And then last but not least, we've got one more spot to show you. And that's going to be right down here on this side, right around that little spot, right around that little point right in there. You'll notice that it says that there's trees right in here. Well, if there's trees right in here, I could see that being a really good spot. One, because there's not too much from a contour standpoint. There's not too much there that's really going to, tell everyone to go there. I mean, it does have some pretty good breaks. It's got a nice little flat area right in there, and then it breaks down into these trees down here, but you've also got the roadbed too. It looks pretty deep, so I'm not sure how good of a spot that's going to be, but I would for sure always go and scan areas like that. That looks good. And then, of course, while you're down here, I'm not going to put a marker there, but fish the marinas. Marinas are always good. I'm a marina person, so I love fishing marinas as well. So guys, that finishes up for Lake Belton. Make sure to go out and check out our sponsor, Habit Outdoors. It's www.habitoutdoors.com. You can use code Simplistic Fishing 20 at checkout, and you'll get a 20% discount off your orders. They got some really cool fishing gear. They got hats. Not fishing gear, but fishing apparel and hunting apparel, hats, shirts, all kinds of good stuff. And they also are the main sponsor for the Major League Fishing Gear apparel, so you'll also be able to get your Major League Fishing Gear apparel out there well with a 20% discount. So Simplistic Fishing 20. I think that's it, guys. That wraps us up for Lake Belton. I've got a lot of lakes coming. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.